Jarron Ennis says that he is way better than Terence Crawford in all the things that he does. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. So Jarron Ennis recently did an interview, and he says that Terence Crawford's a great fighter. We know he admires Terence Crawford for what he does in the ring, but he feels like he can do everything better than Terence Crawford. And he also stated that his defense is better than Terence Crawford, and so on and so forth. Here's my take on the whole situation. I think Jarron Ennis is going to be a problem in the welterweight division. He's a big welterweight, 5'10". That's my height. He has a 75-inch arm reach. He's physically fit. He's mentally, I believe, ready for these guys. He has a very high ring IQ. He has power in both hands, in my opinion. And he has all the tools. But the question is, the only thing Jarron Ennis lack is experience. Do I believe that he can beat Terence Crawford? I think he can. But I think, in my opinion, Terence Crawford will beat Jarron Ennis due to experience. We seen Jarron Ennis fought Sergey Lipinets and made Sergey Lipinets look absolutely easy work. I believe knocking him out and knocking Sergey Lipinets out in the 6th round. This guy is going to be on a whole different level. Like I said, maybe in 3 to 4 years, he's going to be unbeatable. I give him 2 years max. He's going to be unbeatable. And I don't know why these guys don't want to try to get Jarron Ennis while he's young right now, just like Floyd Mayweather had to get Canelo Alvarez before he got too much experience. And you see how the outcome of that fight happened. Floyd got the best of Canelo and wound up washing him. But this is a whole different scenario. Jarron Ennis is on a completely different level. And as we seen Terence Crawford, we're going to refer to the defense. Terence Crawford, in my opinion, has B- defense. We seen that he got dropped by Green Machine, Evish Kavaliauskas. He got buzzed very bad. Some people, you can arguably say he has a suspect chin, but I think Terence Crawford's chin is fine, in my opinion. We seen that Terence Crawford says that Victor Postal was one of the dangerous opponents he fought. Absolutely not, because he wound up dropping him 3 times in the fight, but he still got the win at the end of the day. Julius Ndongo was he washed him. So it's kind of arguably to tell how Terence Crawford has not been pushed to the limit, in my opinion. And we're going to find out during the Sean Porter fight, because Sean Porter is going to pressure you every round, every second, every minute of the fight. So, but Jarron Ennis isn't no Sean Porter, and Sean Porter already said he ain't fighting Jarron Ennis. That's just too much. And I can see why Sean Porter wouldn't want to fight him. Jarron Ennis is obviously younger than Sean Porter. He's 10 years older. Not Jarron's older. He's younger, 10 years younger than Sean. So Sean doesn't want that working. Besides, Sean will have a disadvantage of reach and height. So that's a very dangerous fight for Sean. But I don't see Sean fighting Jarron Ennis. But Terence Crawford needs to be pushed to the level. We're going to find out if Terence Crawford has improved on defense and made the adjustment he can make. If Jarron Ennis versus Terence Crawford, which would never happen, I don't think Terence Crawford would never fight Jarron Ennis due to the way Terence Crawford moves. I can see Jarron Ennis versus Errol Spence Jr. I told you guys before, I have Errol Spence Jr. by a split decision. Very close. It's going to be a very close fight, but I have Errol Spence Jr. by a split decision. I can kind of see this fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Jarron Ennis in a scenario like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I can see in a scenario like that, it's going to be a very close fight. And I can see Jarron saying, no, I won the fight, but they're going to give it to Errol. I can actually see that happening. I can see Errol being the one to take down Jarron Ennis. But that fight is going to be kind of in a distance. We seen Jarron Ennis also says that he wanted the Virgil Ortiz fight. Virgil Ortiz said he wanted to wait 4 years. And Jarron Ennis and his father did not like that. He's got to wait 4 years. Virgil Ortiz is tailor-made for Jarron Ennis. That is a very dangerous fight for Virgil Ortiz. I think Virgil Ortiz will get stopped within 6 to 7 rounds, in my opinion, because Virgil Ortiz's style will be all wrong for Jarron Ennis. But in 4 years of time, I still don't think Virgil Ortiz will have enough to beat Jarron Ennis. I won't say he won't get knocked out. And Virgil Ortiz even got hurt very badly by Ives Kavaliauskas. And a lot of hardcore boxing fans want to see Jarron Ennis versus Ives Kavaliauskas, but we got an okay fighter in Sergey Lipinets. But the point of the matter is, do I think that Jarron Ennis is better than Terence Crawford at everything? It's hard to say. It's very hard to say right now because he's so young and he has a lot of talent. I just got to see Jarron Ennis get a couple more years under his belt. I got to see him get more experience under the belt. He's going to get it. I can see Jarron in his prime being a very long time. I can actually see Jarron Ennis going up in a lot of weight classes and getting a lot of belts. But I don't know. I think physically, Jarron Ennis could be better than Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford is getting up in age. I think Jarron Ennis has a lot of tools. I'm not going to say he's better than Terence Crawford all around. I can't say that because I really got to see Jarron Ennis fight a top welterweight. But nobody wants to fight him, so we got to see what Jarron Ennis can do to these B-level fighters. But overall, Jarron Ennis is up there with Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. He has similarities of both of them. He's just like combined into one of them. And he's going to be very dangerous in this welterweight division. I don't see Jarron Ennis staying in the welterweight division for a very long time. Obviously, he's got a lot of talent. I like Jarron Ennis. He's going to be a very great fighter. But I know what they're going to try to do with him. They're going to shine him away from the best of the best. And the only person that's going to give him that shine is Errol Spence Jr. You know, Errol Spence Jr. video chatted this man, says, little dog, stay down there. I forgot what he said. But he said, you going to get your shot. So they're already in the works in making that fight happen in the future, in my opinion. But off topic, do I think that Jarron Ennis is better overall, does better things than Terence Crawford? I'm going to say no in this scenario because of the experience. Terence Crawford has more experience than Jarron. And Jarron Ennis, you know, he only got the opponents what he got. So I can't blame him for fighting the worst of the worst opponents he's been fighting. But he's going to get the opponents he does. And then if I see Jarron Ennis fight A- or B+ fighter, now that's going to speak volumes, in my opinion. So I hope that Terence Crawford is ready because Jarron Ennis is in that WBO division. I believe he's number 6 or number 5 in that division. And also Virgil Ortiz is going to be Errol Spence's mandatory in the IBF, and Virgil Ortiz is also, believe he's number 2 right behind Sean Porter. So Virgil Ortiz has 2 mandatories in divisions, and Jarron Ennis is right up there with Terence Crawford. So be expecting if they try to mandate Terence Crawford versus Jarron Ennis, that's going to be Terence Crawford's worst nightmare. And Jarron Ennis, believe me, this dude is going to be bad news. Great fighter. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing, keep winning, keep fighting. And I guarantee, man, you're going to get your title. I guarantee it. But to make it short, guys, Jarron Ennis, great fighter. I think he's going to get the experience. And I do believe someday he's going to be better than Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy, King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.